Hello everyone, this is session 2 of Table Talk. So today we want to talk about our version of the 3Ps, which is plan, plan and more planning. We really can't overestimate the need to almost obsessively plan your project, and hopefully we emphasise that in episode 1. But today we specifically want to talk about your plans. So you've got your plot, you know what you want to build, or you know the renovation that you want to do. In my case, I drew up my plans in longhand and then took them to an architect who submitted the plans to planning. So sounds really easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, but of course it's not. I think it's fair to say we got off to a few false starts. The first architect we used, we got dumped by her, and we picked her because she had designed a house we liked and which was similar to ours. But of course logic doesn't always follow, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, so I think that's really the counsel of perfection. In the case of our first designer, she insisted on doing everything by hand. She didn't use CAD, so it took months and months to get changes done. And Adrian said to me at that point, you know, if it's not working, you just have to be robust and you have to knock it on its head, as he said. So, of course, we wasted 6 months with that designer, and it was like drilling, having my head drilled with a really blunt power tool.
Yes, the second architect was probably even worse, to be frank. When the draft plans did come through, they looked like someone had been playing with them on an Exo sketch. They were horrible. They took no account of our mandate whatsoever. In fact, things with the second architect got a little bit ugly, and more about that in a subsequent table talk, I think.
Or probably not. The only upside is the third architect, I took account of Adrian's advice, was very robust. We chose somebody who had done similar houses, possibly not in this area, but in the surrounding area. And it really was like it was a lot smoother with the third architect. He knew what we wanted. He wasn't looking to do something that he'd done previously for somebody else. He took account of what we were saying to him and what we wanted, and didn't just add details for the sake of it. I mean, he suggested that the roof lantern be made bigger, and that worked really well because aesthetically it looked very good. And it let more light into, so it was practical because it let more light into an area that was really quite dark. So I think what that showed us is that if you get the right person, the process can be very, very smooth.
Yes, I mean, on the architect front, it was definitely a case of third time lucky. It did go very smoothly. And it also highlighted the fact that, you know, if things don't work, no amount of patience, Carol's patience in this case with the first architect, are going to guarantee any chance of it working. It's better just to move on when things aren't working out. Now, it was a pity because I think the first architect we used, you know, she had links with local developers and her loyalty was with them rather than with us. But anyway, as Carol said, the third architect worked out very well. So you get the plans, get very familiar with them because you're going to need them often when you're not expecting it. Put it on the wall in the kitchen or something, get the input from the family. Imagine yourself walking through the rooms, make sure the flow, so-called flow, works for you. You know, examine every room, big or small. Take account of the furniture. Imagine yourself going through the doors, and you know, make sure the rooms are in the right order. You don't want some rooms to be miles away from another room you're going to be using, and of course you're paying for it as well. So you don't have a room that's too big that you don't need. You've got to pay for furniture to go in it as well.
Yeah, so really I'm not a fan of wall-to-wall furniture. And I think the safest thing is, and what I did, is that I did sort of very rough scale drawings of the key rooms. So that sounds really grand, but quite frankly it wasn't. Our sofa was a rectangular box. I just scaled it and put it in the drawing of the family room so I could see what that was going to look like when it had our furniture in. And I know this all sounds a little bit obsessive, but it's really important because a room that's too big is just as bad as a room that's too small. And quite frankly, as Adrian said, you have to pay for it. Every single square foot or, you know, square metre has to be paid for. So no point in spending lots of money getting a massive room that just doesn't work for you.
Yes.
So our top 5 tips for the session are?
Well, number one is get to know your plans intimately. Do they work for you? Put them on the wall and really get to know them. As I say, imagine yourself walking through the house, using the doors, etc. And do they work for you and your family?
Yeah. And look carefully at room sizes. Remember, a room that is too big is just as bad as a room that's too small.
Yes, and look at other houses in the area. Are they similar or like the house you're trying to build? If you're uncertain as to whether you would like to get planning permission, apply for outline planning permission, or alternatively arrange with your architect to have a meeting with the planning officer and see how he views your plans to see if they're viable.
Yeah, and if you can, get a CGI. That's going to show you what the house will look like, at least at the front.
And be prepared for delays with planning, because I'm afraid it will take longer than you think.
So those are our top 5 tips for plans in this session. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.